I've been working on it for a couple of weeks, and I don't have it memorized yet, so I'm just gonna read it off my paper. But it's a culmination of my story and a lot of other stories that I've heard in the last couple of weeks. But I don't have a title for it yet. Let me try and look for it right now.
Woo!
Yeah, so this is my last piece.
Okay.
Take it slow, oh, this time we'll take it slow. Take it slow, slow, this time we'll take it slow. Or maybe not, because every time Johnny asks his dad to play catch with him in his front yard, Johnny's dad always replies, "Sorry son, I gotta head off to work so that I can buy you that new mitt that you always wanted," right? Without realizing that he already had 5 of the mitts in his bedroom, that he didn't even like the sport of baseball, nor did he even play on a team. All Johnny ever wanted for his dad to say was, "Son, I love you. I'm proud of you. And the things that you're doing it well. Keep on doing it. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you're doing it wrong. Because son, I love you." But all he got was a card in the shape of a rectangle with 16 digits and the expiration date of a 01/13, as if it was already expired in his dad's mind. But you see, Johnny didn't mind, because everywhere Johnny went, his dad was right there with him in his back right pocket, in the 3rd slot from the top of his wallet, behind the picture of his family. You see, this card meant more to Johnny than anyone ever knew. Ever since he was a little kid, everyone told him that he'd be just like his dad. Tall, handsome, smart, and successful. But Johnny never knew what it meant to be any of these things, because this card was small, light, and lifeless. How was he ever supposed to know what it was like to be his dad when he was always off to work to get him that new thing that he always wanted, so that he could get it wrapped in a box with a pretty ribbon and a card that said, "To son, from dad." All Johnny ever wanted was to hear his dad say, "Son, I love you, and I'm proud of the things that you're doing, and you're doing it well. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you're doing it wrong, because son, I love you." But let's hold on for a second and take it slow, because there is always 2 sides of a story, You see, Johnny's dad was the son of a migrant worker who travels all the way from the Philippines to create a better life for his children. And Johnny's dad grew up on just 2 shirts and a pair of jeans. He washed his clothes every day so that it would be clean. So clean that no one would ever know that it was worn 3 times a week. But his dad grew up and told himself, "I'm gonna wash these clothes so clean that my son will never have to do this." And that he would say, "Dad, I love you, and I'm proud to call you my dad. You're my dad. I'll never forget that. Dad, I love you." Johnny's dad worked so hard to climb this ladder that Johnny's dad worked so hard to climb this ladder that if he was ever to leave it, his son would have nothing to do with him, and that ladder would crumble to the ground and prove to the people that he was never meant to be in this system that worked against him. And he hoped his son would still say, "Dad, I love you, and I'm proud of you. You did your best. Don't ever let anyone tell you you failed, because Dad, I love you." Now let's take it a little bit slower and see that these stories were intertwined like the DNA strands that spin around each other but never touch, but are held together by a hydrogen bond to solidify its identity. Their I love yous were never good enough for each other, but was good enough for the love of a savior that tells them, "Sons, I love you. No matter what you have, it's not what your cards can give or how clean you are before me. It's the I love yous from your souls that tell me that you love me. I never left your side. I was always there to provide, because sons, I love you. I love you, my sons. My love will never run dry. In the streams of the sky, my I love yous will always be in your mind, no matter who tells you otherwise. Because Landon, I love you. And I'm proud of the things that you're doing. You're doing it well. Press on towards the prize that I've called you heavenward for, because I love you."